down to the bones of the lower limb. So we're going to be talking about the leg. So after the pelvis comes the femur. So the femur is the longest, strongest, biggest bone in the human body. So here, this is a superior portion. Here's the inferior portion, so top, bottom, and this is a right. So this here would be the anterior view. Here's the back for the posterior view. So what we need, the first thing is the most common feature is the head. This is the head of the femur, so it's the hip is a ball and socket joint. So this is the ball part of the ball and socket. So this is what inserts into the pelvis to form the hip. Then you have, and so you can see it from both sides. So it's very, very, very large, very prominent. The neck is this narrower portion here on the femur, and this is what most commonly gets broken. If there's a broken hip, this tends to be its weakest point. So the neck right up in there, that's probably the easiest portion. So you can see how it's a little bit narrower there. Now, there's a couple of trochanters, and there's some condyles and epicondyles, and I'm going to try to break those down so that the words make a little more sense to you. Okay, so the trochanters, the greater one, you're going to see from the back. So the greater trochanter is this large prominence. So you have the neck, and it goes right into the greater trochanter. You can't really see it as well from the front, because it's really talking about this horn area here on the back. So there's the back right there, that horn area. So if I got my finger on it, back, you can't see it from the front. So the greater trochanter is on the back. Then you have the lesser trochanter, which is this portion down here. So you can actually see that from the front and the back. So the greater one you can only see from the back, the lesser one you can see from the front or the back. Next you have the gluteal tuberosity, and that is only visible from the back, and it's this portion right up in here. So the gluteal tuberosity is just a point of attachment where the glutes are going to attach here to help move the hip and the leg. So right up in here, gluteal tuberosity. Now, from there, if you just kind of take your finger and you trace on down, there's this really long, rough line. So there's the gluteal tuberosity. You can't see it very well in this light, but there's kind of a V there. There's a notch, and you go all the way down. That would be the linear aspera, so the rough line goes all the way down. So very long there. Next, you have, don't get these confused, we're going to talk about the epicondyles first, okay? So, and then I'll go over them a couple of times. So you have your medial epicondyle, so this is visible from the front and the back. So if you're on the front, it's this portion right here. So here, and then if you turn around to the back, right there. This is the epicondyle. Medial, because here's the hip, this is the middle side. So medial epicondyle here of the femur, and you turn it around. So visible from the front and the back. The lateral epicondyle is going to be on the other side. So from the front, this one right over here, this marking here. And you can't really see it very well from the back. And I've got my finger right here. So lateral epicondyle is only visible from the front. The medial one, front, and the back. Now, the condyles, these are large. That would be these large things, okay? So you gotta find the front. So here's the front. So the medial one would be this one, the one towards the middle. So there's the medial one if you're looking at the back. So this is the medial one. And then you have the lateral, and there's the lateral. So from the back. So if I'm looking at this, I have medial, you're looking at medial, lateral, lateral. So when you think about epicondyles, epi means on top of, so here is your medial condyle, there's your medial epicondyle, so it's on top of your medial condyle. Then you have your lateral one, so from the back here, so here's your lateral condyle. No, lateral one's only from the front. And there's your lateral epicondyle right there. Can't see it from the back, not really. Can't see that marking there. There it is. So this is the femur. You also have the patella. This is the kneecap right here, the patella. Now, so the bottom, that's not the femur, here's the femur. So the bottom of the femur forms the top portion of the knee. And we'll move on and we'll talk about the bones of the lower leg and the foot next.